What's new in the new Ghost fish oil? You guys may remember that Ghost had another fish oil. Actually, was their second version of this fish oil, and each time they changed it into something new and better. But people were asking what happened to the old Ghost fish oil, which Ghost CEO Dan Lourenco made a new Instagram after getting off Instagram to come back and give us some insight. You may remember a podcast we did a few years ago with Dr. Hector Lopez, the late, great, absolute genius in dietary supplements that developed an ingredient called Smart Prime. Now, Smart Prime was an ingredient that basically made omegas work better. It was an absorption ingredient, and that's doing it a disservice at not giving it a whole explanator on its own. It was a very interesting, revolutionary ingredient that we felt was ahead of its time and absolutely exemplary. In 2022, we gave this an award for being so special because it could have been life-changing for a lot of people who have issues in this realm. Unfortunately, this patented ingredient is not made anymore. The manufacturers decided to not produce it anymore, and so they needed to find a new formula. So from Dan's mouth, they looked for the highest quality and the best amounts of EPA and DHA. So obviously, we'll do a whole breakdown on this formula on its own when it arrives, but to look at the actual doses here, 1200 EPA, 900 DHA, they're in the ethyl ester form, which for me, adds a little bit of fun to the formula. If you watch that podcast with Dr. Hector Lopez, who Dan from Ghost really looked up to and cited a lot when talking about fish oil, he also advocated for ethyl ester usage here. Some people are torn on whether like ethyl ester or triglycerides. I think this has been true to form, even though Smart Prime isn't available anymore. It's a high quality source of fish oil that Hector himself would have liked. I also love that Ghost gives us real transparency here in saying where it's coming from. A lot of low quality fish oils will not tell you where it actually comes from. In fact, I know we have some really curious people. If you want to learn more about the source of this before we have our full video come out, you can look up EPAX omega-3s. Now, of course, this is one of a few different products in Ghost Basics. I'm going to do a video about all of them together, but this one is special, so I wanted to highlight it on its own.